I'm done. We're getting a divorce. You've been just playing around with the $500 I gave you. John, my husband, yells as soon as he gets home. Is he not only taking money from me, but also spreading lies? As I hear John's voice, anger starts boiling inside of me. John is being unreasonable. It seems he's not even willing to listen to my side. Seeing John's one-sided accusations without hearing me out, my affection for him vanishes instantly. Don't you want to hear my side of the story? I'm not interested in your excuses. Either return the money you spent right now or let's get divorced. What? Well then, let's divorce, I said with a smile. Right after, the front door opens. It seems our son Marcus has come home. Blaming Mom is totally wrong. What? Are you taking her side? She betrayed my trust by... Then it seems you both have betrayed my trust. We were shocked to see who appeared behind Marcus. Thanks to him, I was able to divorce John without any trouble. And by stopping the money transfer, they're going to experience hell. I'm Effie, 37 years old. Just a regular working mom, part-time in an office. I have a son, Marcus, who's in his rebellious phase. Marcus always liked studying and would proactively do his homework and revisions without me having to say anything. But as he entered his rebellious phase, he started to ignore me. However, he never said anything hurtful or got physical. Well, I guess that's typical for a high schooler. More troublesome than that are my husband, John, and my mother-in-law, Flora. John and I met in college, and after his persistent pursuit, we started dating. We got married after I got pregnant with Marcus right after college. A shotgun marriage, how disgraceful! Flora had a lot to say about that. She adored John and probably thought I had stolen him from her with dirty tricks. I suffered harassment from my mother-in-law. There were times she even targeted Marcus in my womb. What are you thinking? She was often scolded by her husband, my father-in-law Nathan, who is strict yet kind. He has helped us many times and is a benefactor to us. I have some interaction with Nathan, but I'm distant from Flora. Frankly, I don't want much to do with her. One day, I received a call from the unpleasant Flora. Could you increase the amount you're sending me? Actually, we've been sending money to Flora. There was a time when John mentioned living together with Flora. I rejected it, citing the lack of an apology for her past harassment, and Marcus being an exam student. John and Flora heavily criticized me for that. The wife of my son refusing to live together? You're not fit to be a wife. That's right, always dwelling on the past. Hey, you two. Living together means I'd have to change my high school for the entrance exams, you know. Marcus was the one who stopped that discussion. Marcus, being the heir, was adored by Flora. If I don't go to that high school, my dream will be out of reach. Are you two trying to sabotage my dream? If so, I'll never forgive you. Flora fell silent at Marcus's words. John, who adores Flora, also became quiet, watching Marcus's reaction. Nathan siding with us also played a big part. If you don't cherish your family, I might consider firing you, he warned John. Nathan runs a company where I work part-time, and John works there as a supposed successor. The reason I say supposed is that John is famously incompetent at work. Even I, working part-time, hear about it. He's probably there due to Nathan's generosity. John knew this, so he never brought up living together after that. Hence, we agreed to send money if we weren't living together. Honestly, I don't think we need to send money at all. I just want to show some filial piety, John pleaded, so I agreed. John hates hassle, so I receive $500 from him and directly transfer it to Flora. It's not like they need the money with Nathan's earnings. It's for Nathan's sake. Just do it without complaining, daughter-in-law. Flora cuts the call. Ignoring her could lead to her causing trouble. Until now, Marcus and Nathan have helped, but Marcus is in his rebellious phase, and Nathan is busy with a major project. It might be difficult to get their help. Persistently asked by Flora to increase the amount, I decided to add about $300 from my salary. Just $300, huh? Well, all right. Thank you. I've increased the amount, so please don't contact me unnecessarily. I firmly advised the cheerful Flora. Cutting ties with Flora would be ideal, but we owe Nathan a lot. I thought I'd endure until Marcus becomes independent. I'm home. Ah, welcome back. I have something to discuss. Then I tried to talk to John, who just returned from work, about the increase in the money sent. But John wouldn't even look at me. Irritated by his attitude, I tried to discuss this important matter. Ah, enough. You're so annoying. I'm tired. I'm taking a shower. With that, John quickly went to shower. Picking up the socks and tie John scattered, I sighed. Something wrong? Whoa! I turned at the voice to see Marcus looking at me a bit startled. I was surprised because it had been a while since he spoke to me. Ah, sorry, I didn't mean to startle you with that weird noise. It's fine, but what happened? A rare conversation with Marcus. I was so happy that I ended up telling him everything. I thought I didn't care, but maybe it was sad to be ignored by my child after all. On the other hand, Marcus seemed thoughtful after hearing my story. Could it be that Grandma is... Hey, dinner's ready. Just as Marcus was about to say something, John came out. Then Marcus stopped talking and went back to his room. There goes our precious parent-child time. With that thought, I served dinner to John. Hey, can we talk while eating dinner? Ugh, fish again? As I tried to start the conversation, John complained about the meal discontentedly. Fish again? You said you wanted fish today. But more importantly, that was this morning, wasn't it? Now I feel like meat. You should understand that as a wife. I'm not a mind reader. You know I go shopping after work. If you didn't tell me by then, shut up, you're failing as a wife. Why do I have to be spoken to like that? I retorted in irritation, and John complained more, leading to a fight, and I couldn't bring up the money transfer topic. I didn't realize at that time that Marcus was watching us with his mobile phone. Nathan is such a good person, I muttered alone in the living room. Honestly, I felt like I would break from stress if I didn't say it out loud. Flora aside, John used to care for my health and helped with chores when we were young. That's why I thought it was okay to marry him. But it changed the moment I gave birth to Marcus. He didn't help with Marcus's care at all, constantly comparing me to Flora, saying Flora would do it this way, Flora would do it perfectly. The word divorce flickered through my mind and then faded. I was left alone pondering the future. Some time passed and Marcus was on his summer vacation. During this time, John completely ignored me, just like Marcus in the middle of his rebellious phase. Is he really an adult? I have something important, so come over. One day, John was called to the in-laws' house. It was sudden, and since I had work and Marcus had plans, John went alone. John looked unhappy but took a leave and left by himself. Where are you going, Marcus? To a friend's? Sort of. I see. Be careful and don't stay out too late. Then Marcus and I left the house separately. At work, I overheard conversations about how work was more efficient without John around, and couldn't help but give a wry smile. Then, when I got home, no one was there yet. Today, determined not to be criticized again, I started preparing dinner when, Hey, Effie! John's voice echoed from the entrance with a loud noise. What's wrong, John? Why are you so excited? You've been deceiving me, John yelled at my puzzled look. Huh? I tilted my head, not understanding his words, as John glared at me. I was utterly confused, but his next words made it clear. We're getting a divorce. You've just been playing around with the $500 I gave you. John started yelling as soon as he returned. Is he not only taking money from me, but also spreading lies? As I listen to John's voice, anger starts boiling inside me. John is being unreasonable. It seems he's not even willing to listen to my side. Seeing John's one-sided accusations without hearing me out, my affection for him vanishes instantly. Don't you want to hear my side of the story? I'm not interested in your excuses. Either return the money you spent right now, or let's get divorced. What? Well then, let's divorce, I said with a smile. Right after, the front door opens. It seems like our son Marcus has come home. Blaming Mom is totally wrong. What? Are you taking her side? She betrayed my trust by... Then, it seems you both have betrayed my trust. We were shocked to see who appeared behind Marcus. What? Nathan? Dad, why are you here with Marcus? There stood Nathan with an angry expression. What are you doing? Well, that... Answer me quickly. As Nathan asked coldly, John was suddenly at a loss for words. Nathan glared at him while Marcus took out his mobile phone. Then, our earlier conversation played from Marcus's phone. The conversation just now and Dad's attitude towards Mom all this time? I've been recording it. Anyone can see Dad is at fault. What? If you still blame Mom, or if you ever lay a hand on her, I'll punch you, even if I get arrested. Marcus, being athletic, is physically imposing. In contrast, John, a typical middle-aged man, has recently grown a potbelly. It's clear who would lose if it came to blows. You're defying your father? What do you mean by Dad? Someone who follows Grandma's orders and ignores Mom's opinions? Mom always faced me, even when I ignored her. What have you been doing as a dad? Just exploiting Mom? John fell silent at Marcus's calm words. Children grow up before you know it. Although it's a difficult situation, I can't help but feel happy that Marcus is standing up for me. John, I told you before what I'd do to someone who doesn't cherish his family, didn't I? At Nathan's words, John's face paled instantly. Well, of course. It's as if he's being told he's about to be fired. Mom, this is for you. Is this a divorce form? What was handed to me was a divorce form. Why does Marcus have it? And he's so well prepared, even if he is my son. Don't worry about me, Marcus said, so I quickly filled in my part and thrust it at John. John, seemingly shocked that I signed without hesitation, stared at me. Are you sure? It's going to be hard for you if we divorce. I'll manage. It's harder being with you. Plus, I won't have to deal with Flora anymore. But, just sign the divorce form already. John hesitated a bit but signed the form, cowed by Nathan's glare. Marcus, we're going to my parents' house. Get ready. Okay. Then we packed up lightly and Nathan drove us to my parents' house. John tried to follow, but stopped under the stern glances of Marcus and Nathan. On the way, we stopped by the city hall to submit the divorce form. I'm so grateful Marcus came back with Nathan. His help made it possible for me to divorce John safely. What about the money transfers? Of course, I'm stopping them. By stopping the transfers, they'll really see hell. We arrived safely at my parents' house. They were surprised we came without notice, but welcomed us warmly. After seeing us settled, Nathan left. Hey, Marcus, why were you with Nathan? I asked Marcus when we had calmed down. Well, I had an appointment to meet Grandpa today. Apparently, his errand was to meet Nathan. Marcus, having heard about the money transfer from me, told Nathan about it and John's usual attitude. They had made a plan to discuss what to do next. What we found out was Nathan didn't know about the money transfers. Now that I think about it, Nathan wasn't there when we decided on the transfers. The money transfer was discussed when Nathan was absent. The details were settled over the phone with Flora. From Flora, I'll tell Nathan, or Nathan agrees too. I was completely deceived by her words. After hearing from Marcus, Nathan was furious. She should have enough money from me. What on earth is she using it for? Nathan had Flora investigated and discovered her lavish spending habits. She had been shopping a lot with our money. When they checked her closet, it was full of uncountable brand bags and accessories. And it seemed she was generously funding a young, handsome neighbor boy. That handsome boy, however, didn't pay her any attention. Even I wouldn't seriously consider a grandpa 40 years older than me. By the way, all the one-sided gifts she gave were unopened and stored in a storage room, so Nathan collected them. Grandpa and Grandma are divorcing. He was angry, saying he didn't expect her to be so irresponsible. I know. Nathan, who decided to divorce Flora, was infuriated again when he saw John's attitude through Marcus's mobile phone. Apparently, he came back with the intention of persuading John to divorce me since he is also divorcing. They planned to make John sign the divorce papers and were discussing Marcus's transition from part-time to full-time employment. However, I walked in on a scene where I was being blamed. So everything was prepared for this? Exactly, and this is from Grandpa. Saying that, Marcus handed me a paper with a property written on it. The property is of decent size, located exactly in the middle of high school and the company. It seems to be a bit away from the in-laws' house. What does this mean? As an apology for this time, Grandpa wants to give us this property. His words left me speechless. Certainly, both Marcus and I would need to drive from our current home to the new one. However, from this property we can continue commuting as before without much change. Grandpa insists. He says it's more appreciated if we accept it. I see. Well, I'll thank him later then. Even so, truly befitting a president to buy a house as an apology. I decided to accept Nathan's gesture with gratitude. Shortly after, John was fired. Not only for this incident, but also because it was revealed he had been causing various troubles despite being the president's son. He had been burdening others with his already limited workload, pressuring young female employees for relationships, and harassing male employees. When I mentioned considering disciplinary action, testimonies started pouring in. So John was promptly fired. Flora, divorced by Nathan and kicked out of the house, went to John's side. With little savings left after settlement and child support payments, and no job after being fired, they're in a difficult situation. The other day, I saw Dad working part-time, being scolded by my classmate. Oh, really? Did your classmate say anything to him? He did. He said, "Your ex-dad-like person came." I replied that he can scold him freely for using and scolding us so much. I see. It's miserable to be scolded by one's son's classmate every day. With his known incompetence at work and the challenges of finding a new job at his age, it's tough for John. Add to that his uncontrollable spending habits and being surrounded by Flora, he's now trapped in debt hell. I heard from a former neighbor that they often hear fights from his house, and the police were called recently. It seems he's embarrassed about it, and he might move out soon. Either that or he'll be forced out due to unpaid loans. On the other hand, I became a full-time employee. Although the responsibility has increased and I come home later than before, life has become more comfortable. There's no need for financial support, and Marcus, after hearing about John, developed an interest in part-time jobs. Now he earns what he wants on his own, so there's no need for strict budgeting. I won't squander money like Flora, so our future is secure. I still meet with Nathan. If you haven't decided on your future yet, how about joining my company as my successor after graduating college? Apparently, Nathan has always wanted Marcus as his successor. Having John work there was also a way to pique Marcus's interest. Of course, no pressure. If you don't find something else you want to do by graduation, just consider my company as an option, Nathan suggested. Marcus listened seriously to Nathan's offer. Marcus, do what you want. I'll work to repay this kindness, I said. Thanks, Mom. Honestly, I'm still not sure about the future, Marcus replied, though he's aiming for an economics degree, possibly hinting at an interest in business management. Sometime later, John contacted me. He finally couldn't pay the loan and sold the house. Hearing how he abandoned Flora clinging to him, I was astounded. Now that no one's tormenting you, let's reconcile. Marcus needs his dad. Do you have anything left now? What? You have no job, no money, no house? Marcus and I have no feelings left for you. You even discarded Flora, the only thing you had left. What's left for you now? John fell silent at my question. He chose Flora over me, only to abandon her too. I was disappointed. The John I loved no longer existed. But if I return to you, Effie, there's no place for you with us. Don't ever contact us again. I hung up, setting his number to reject calls. Later, John tried to visit my parents' house, but my dad especially sternly turned him away. Nathan picked him up and left him at a distant relative's construction company. Surrounded by burly men, John won't interfere with us anymore. Abandoned by John, Flora ended up homeless. I heard rumors of her living under a bridge, but that's no longer my concern. I'll be late today, got a part-time job. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Thanks, actually. Since then, Marcus, no longer in his rebellious phase, talks to me more openly. This experience helped me understand Marcus's feelings. In response, I make sure to express gratitude and apologies sincerely. Marcus's response has naturally brought us closer together. With John gone, we've become a closer family. I suppose that's something to be thankful for, and I share a laugh with Marcus. Our relationship with Nathan remains good. I do want you as my successor, but I just want to see my dear daughter and grandson, he says, showing his care for us. Recently, I invited Nathan along with my parents on a hot spring trip, which he really enjoyed. I hope to maintain this good relationship with Nathan. Years after the divorce, I still receive reconciliation letters from John via my parents. I tear them up and throw them away without getting tired of it. Another letter from him? Yes, seems like it. He never gives up. It's persistent. He'd be happier if he just moved on. He has nothing left, so he's desperate. Now let's eat quickly. Today is a special day. Marcus, having graduated college, is starting as the successor in the company. He has already been recognized at work through his internships during his student days. I even heard rumors in the office about Marcus being the promising new talent. I'm proud of such a son. Here, Mom, I wanted to give this to you. What's this? Marcus handed me a beautifully boxed, elegant pen. I saved up and bought it. I've come this far thanks to you, Mom. His words almost brought tears to my eyes this morning. I want to continue our peaceful family life, keeping close as a family. And to support Marcus in his happiness, I'll do what I can. Just like the mother-in-law, I'll be careful not to interfere too much.